Hello again, and welcome to another This Week in Wabash. I'm Wade Weaver from 1059 The Bash. We've got a loaded show here today. Wabash Area Community Theater Board Vice President Eric Seaman will join the show right there. And we're going to be talking to him about a brand new building for those folks. Also, we'll go downtown to our good friend Carly, the intern from Wabash Marketplace, and she's going to talk about First Friday tonight. It is First Friday. And then we're going to talk with LH Carpenter's director, Kathy Wilson. She's going to tell us about 3-year-olds now being able to be part of school. Yeah. So we'll tell you more about all of that, the kindergartners and all that going to LH Carpenter. Plus, Bev Ferry joins us from Wabash County Transit and Living Well in Wabash County. And we talk about some of the things that they're looking for. They're looking actually for some employment opportunities for you. They're looking for some people to work for them. Plus, check these girls out. They're running around Wabash County trying to find the best darn tenderloin. From Visit Wabash County, Let's Talk March. We'll be finding out more about that. And also, Metropolitan School District of Wabash County, they join us every week. And we're going to find out who the biology teacher of the year was. All right? So join us for This Week in Wabash, coming up right here on 1059thebash.com and all of our Facebook pages. Don't you dare go away. We've got a great show. On This Week in Wabash, this week we wanted to talk with Eric Seaman, who is the board vice president of Wabash Area Community Theater. And Eric, first of all, thank you and welcome.
I appreciate it, Wade. It's been an interesting past year, and I'm looking forward to talk about it.
Yeah. Just all the things we tried to do last year that we couldn't. I think, what were you, part of the Kiwanis thing too last year? And
Yeah, luckily we had that on Valentine's Day about a month before the country shut down, thankfully.
yeah, all right. Well, let's talk about what is exciting for Wabash Area Community Theater. Not only have you had a couple of successful, one successful show, and the next one's going to be fun and exciting. But you guys are moving into your own building. Tell us what's going on.
Yeah, so about 15 months ago, we started having serious conversations as a board about having a building. Really, the board has been looking for a property to have all of our assets in one location for about 20 years, really, which is for most of our existence as a nonprofit. And finally, about a year ago, right before Christmas time, we just said, you know what, like, we're only devoting like 5 minutes of our regular board meetings every month to actually talk about this. Let's have a special meeting where this is all we talk about. And so we actually had that. My wife and I got married in January last year. We got married on a Saturday, went on our honeymoon, and then came back first day was when we had that meeting. So that was my welcome to have that. And so we got a plan together, what we needed, and then some fundraising ideas. But so we've been looking at some properties around town. So we've been looking at some former school buildings. We've looked at a couple of private properties. Nothing was quite right based on one thing or another, whether it was financing, whether it was asking price, or just certain requirements by the person who was selling the property. And so finally, about 4 months ago, our board president, Bev Vanderpool, who is the assistant for the mayor, Scott Long, she had someone come forward to her, and we now have a property that we have fundraised for, and that we have looked through it, and it's perfect. It's exactly what we need. It is no more, no less than what we need to not only have long-term security, but to be able to do everything in one location, give us a professional feel. And so we closed last week. So I think it was February 25th, I think was the date. We had our board president, Bev Vanderpool. She signed the contract, and we now have a beautiful building on South Wabash Street. And so it's right across the street from B&K Root Beer, and it's right by what used to be Unabella Pizza.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you talk about it's just perfect for what you like to do, two things I can think of other than rehearsing. One would be set building. And is that one thing you can do there, and obviously hold all of that in that building, right?
Right. So what's nice is that the property has a large L-shaped building that's a little over 11,000 square feet.
Hmm.
And then there's a separate building. We have some options for that that could be really beneficial for us as well. But there's a 900 square foot front office area where we can, have our business meetings every month, and where we can also store our important paperwork in terms of, building, meeting minutes, financial information, things like that. Behind that, we have an awesome 75 by 30-foot room where we're looking to have our do some set building and have some of our rehearsals. And then the big part of the building is connected to that. It's kind of shaped like an L, and it is 150 feet by 30 feet. It's a big, long building. We're thinking that's where we'll have our costumes, which we have one of a kind, unique costumes that you really can't find anywhere else because they've been handmade by people locally. And there's also a beautiful, it's very cool. It's about halfway down that building is a loft. And so that increases the square footage of that area by about 50%. So, and then, it's right here in town. It has some garage style doors that open up. And so those large set pieces that can sometimes be like 20 feet high, get those in and out really quickly. And then the idea really is just, and then again, the creation space. So we've been spread out over the past 20 years. We've had our stuff stored and this precedes my time, even in Wabash, but, we've had our materials in a liquor store. Right now we have our props and costumes in a church building. And then we have our large set pieces stored essentially in an old abandoned building on the south side of Wabash. And so this will allow us to have everything under one place. And I actually, we might think we might have a name for it. Bev Vanderpool sent out an email, I think it was last night, and we're thinking about calling it the Wactory. So we call ourselves Whacked, Wabash Area Community Theater. And so we're going to be creating stuff there, Wactory. I
That's
think it's going to.
awesome. Yeah, the Wactory. Now, will there be any performances in that building?
That is not the plan, mostly
Okay.
because the land that it sits on is about 0.63 square acres. And
Yeah.
so pretty much the building that's on it right now takes up most of it. The rest of it is our parking lot. So there's really not really much of an area
Yeah.
to do that. And along with that, we already have some existing amenities in the community that
Yes.
needs. So that would require money, and we would rather just have that money go towards, either, paying off our mortgage or, you know, getting more assets for the community theater group.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, very good. It's a pretty exciting time then for Wabash Area Community Theater, and I'm sure Bev Vanderpool's excited. I'm going to try to get a hold of her and see if we could get a little segment with her. But what I'm really excited about is a future This Week in Wabash show where we can take a tour when you're all in and ready to go.
Well, that's our hope. We officially signed last Thursday, and then we got the key on last Saturday, and so we actually spent a good amount of time on Saturday morning and early afternoon going through and just getting a really good idea of like, okay, what's our priority list? We need to fix this first, and just prioritizing things. And then we have an amazing board of directors. Brett Robinson, who is a retired Army officer, he's on our board, and he's going to be our building superintendent. And then we have two guys named Gary Norman, who works for Metro Schools, and Gary Dale, who also works for Metro Schools. They're both teachers, and we call them the BGs because it's Brett, Gary, and Gary. And so they are our building superintendents, and they are the guys who are going to be in charge of making sure that this property is not only going to be ready to go here in a few months, but that it is in good standing and in good shape moving forward, and give us a good professional look.
That's exciting. And speaking of that, not downplaying anybody, but this is the site where there's been like a ongoing yard sale type thing, and I think just getting that cleaned up for the neighborhood here on the south side. Me being the city council person for the south side, we appreciate it. Look forward to having you guys out here.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to what, we all know that Wabash is a special place. I've only lived here for, I think it'll be 8 years this summer, but this place is very special. I've been very involved with the community, and this is a very much an arts community, and we consider ourselves one of the main reasons this is an arts community. And we are looking forward to being able to provide these opportunities not only for people to perform and to help produce shows, but most people just enjoy them. And so we're looking forward to being able to continue to do that. And we think that this is going to be a big part of us having perpetuity and having a long-standing relationship in the area.
Had to be awesome to at least get a show in with love letters. I know there are only two actors, but at least you're getting that back up. And I'll give you time to give a free plug for the upcoming show.
Yeah, so we are going to be, Brett Robinson was our director, so our building superintendent. He's become very involved with our group, and he's going to be our director again. This is a show called Play On. It's by Rick Abbott. It actually was I believe it was a Pulitzer Prize finalist back about 30 years ago. And so essentially it's a comedy. We always do a spring comedy. And so this will be the weekend of April 30th through May 2nd out Southwood Junior Senior High School on that Friday and Saturday night, and then we'll have a Sunday matinee. But the idea is that pretty much there's a decent amount of humor in it. I believe that is related, that people who are involved in theater would appreciate. But there's obviously humor for everybody involved. But essentially, it is Hell Week for this group of people. It's Tech Week leading up to the week of the show. Anything that can go wrong does go wrong. Yes. And so we have people who are in the show. It's actually, there is a play within the play. It's Murder Most Foul, and so you kind of have. I believe we have 8 to 10 actors, and everyone plays their normal character and then the character that they play in Murder Most Foul. And so that's the gist of it. And then we will be doing Sister Act this fall. Which, yes, I've been pounding the table for that show for the past 2 years. I think it's going to be fantastic. I love that movie, and I love the show. It has great reviews, and so we are very happy to be able to offer that this fall. We always do a fall musical, always do a spring comedy. We've been dabbling with this entertainment idea the past couple of years. So we did last year, we did Death by Chocolate. That was very successful on Valentine's Day weekend. Did it again this year with Love Letters, with the love angle on Valentine's Day. Howard Kaler, who's the general manager of the Charlie Creek Inn, is a great asset to our board. He is our board treasurer, and so he's been very nice. It's been very nice to be able to have his facility in the ballroom downstairs to be able to offer dinner and a show, and for $30 a ticket, you really cannot beat that.
No, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Eric, joining us on This Week in Wabash. And let me know what we can do in the future when you get that building open, okay?
Appreciate it, Wade.
All right. See you, Harry.
Hey, it's Carly from Wabash Marketplace, and it's First Friday once again here on March 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Wabash. This month's First Friday theme is Lucky and Lit in honor of St. Patrick's Day and Wabash being the first electrically lit city in the world. As you can see, I am sporting my Lucky and Lit t-shirt that Wabash Marketplace sold a few weeks ago. And if you bought one as well, make sure you wear that in downtown Wabash tonight, 5 to 8 p.m. If you bought one of these t-shirts and you're wearing it to downtown Wabash tonight, make sure you take a picture of you in the shirt somewhere in downtown and post it to social media with the hashtag Lucky and Lit, and you can be entered for a giveaway of our gift basket this month. The trolley will be running tonight with its stops of the Veterans Plaza, Eagles Theater, the YMCA, the Depot, and Charlie Creek Inn. There's a lot of fun things happening in downtown Wabash. Custom Crafts will be having a $5 craft that you can do. It's super cute, by the way. Bella Zoe and Birdie J's will be having 50% off their clearance. And Make It Your Own will have 20% off one item. And at the Eclectic Shop, you can pick a clover, and it'll have anywhere from 10 to 50% off your item that you're purchasing. Stop by Visit Wabash County because they are featuring succulents, and there's a giveaway happening, so go in there and check that out. If you haven't bought a Lucky and Lit t-shirt, there will be some extras for sale at Chapman's Tap Room, so stop in there so you can get in on all the fun of these t-shirts. They're super soft, super cozy, and I absolutely love mine. Nicole Howard will be having a spring-themed backdrop that you can go get your pictures taken in front of. She'll be there from 5 to 7 p.m., and there will be 2 digital files for $20. The museum will be open until 6 p.m. There's take-home craft kits for the kids, and they are having 50% off Hatchem eggs as well as the green camper mugs. Oh My Cakes will be featuring Lucky Charm cookie dough and mint chocolate chip cupcakes. Modoc's Market will be having shamrock shakes and cake pops. And Downtown Nutrition will also be having shamrock shakes and green tea bombs. Pizza King will be premiering their garlic knots for the first time ever. And also you can get a 14-inch 2-topping pizza for $10 on First Friday. Something very exciting is happening for Charlie Creek Inn. They will be doing the ribbon cutting at 5 p.m. for the wine and cheese shop and the ice cream and candy shop. They swapped places, and now it's time to do the grand reopening, so you don't want to miss that ribbon cutting ceremony. And there will also be live music with Dakota Parker and the Green Hat Lounge. So that's all I've got for you this time around on First Friday. Make sure you come down and join in on all the fun tonight at 5 to 8 p.m. in downtown Wabash. I hope to see you there. Bye.
Also on This Week in Wabash, Kathy Wilson, the director of LH Carpenter Early Learning Center, joins us. And I love when we get to find out from you folks. Hi, Kathy. Good to have you.
Hi.
This is number 2 for you on This Week in Wabash. We've been doing this almost a year, and we have not missed a Friday. Not one Friday have we missed. So it's exciting to have you back. And we want to know, first of all, how your year has been going.
It has been going great. We had a little spell there before Christmas, but since we've been back since Christmas break, our students and staff have been very healthy, not had a lot out for COVID. So we are excited that we've been in person as long as we have. So
that's awesome.
We're very excited for spring.
Got some changes coming next year for you guys, right? You're going to be having kindergartners there, is that right?
We are.
Yeah.
They are joining us in the fall next year. Our preschoolers have already moved over to the new wing. So that new wing is completely done, and preschoolers are consuming those rooms right now. They're renovating the new side, and it is projected to be done the end of July. And our kindergartner teachers will move over, and we will begin our school year in August with kindergarten.
That's awesome. I can't wait to come out and do another video presentation when it's all done.
I will definitely get you here. Get you here.
Well, let's talk about what you've got going on. You've got some programs you want some folks to know about.
We do. We have our preschool enrollment and our kindergarten enrollment going on for next year, the 2021-22 school year. And there are 3 ways that you can enroll your students now. You can go on to the Wabash City Schools website at apaches.k12.in.us. And on there, you'll see kindergarten roundup registration, and you'll also see the preschool registration. You can fill those out. It's going to ask you if you can upload documents of the birth certificate and your immunizations. If you don't have them, that's perfectly fine. You can get them to us later on by bringing them to us, or later here in a minute, I'm going to tell you about our clinic that we're going to have. You can also go on the LH Carpenter Early Learning Center Facebook page. Click on the link there. That will take you to the registration page. Or you can call the school at 274-0333, and we will take your information over the phone to get your child enrolled.
That's exciting. So again, all of kindergarten will be in your building then?
Yep. So that is for kindergarten or for preschool. And we are excited. We are adding a 3-year-old preschool this year.
Oh, really?
So that is something new. Yes. It'll be a half-day program in the morning and a half-day program in the afternoon. Spots are limited because we're only taking 10 for the morning and 10 for the afternoon. So if you're interested in that, spots are limited for that. And it's only 4 days a week, and with Fridays off.
That's awesome.
So
are you guys teaching, what is the, with the Spanish?
We are not in the 3-year-old. That
not
begins
in the 3,
at
okay. Okay,
that begins in our 4-year-old. Yes, and the prices for those classes, the preschool classes, your dual immersion is $310 a month would be nice.
Yeah.
Our Little Apaches is $260 a month, and the 3-year-old is $155 a month. We do offer before and after care, and that is we have an increase in all of our prices this year. It's $125 for the full month. So whether you use it in the morning or whether you use it in the afternoon, it's one flat fee, and you can use it however many days, morning or night, that you want.
Can you use both?
However, yes.
Okay.
However, do not let price stop you from enrolling your child. I have many, many ways to help you with assistance. For our 4-year-olds, we can get you possibly an On My Way pre-K grant. Your child has to be 4 before August 1st. Either both parents have to be working, or one working and one going to school. Our CCDF grants, which are your Child Care Development Fund grants, Our 3-year-olds would qualify for that, and any child who is older than 4 after August 1st, so your later 4s or 5s would qualify for that. Same qualifications, either both parents have to be working or one working and one going to school. If you don't fit into that category, we could go with Community Foundation are giving scholarships. They gave some last year. They're going to continue that this year, so we can get you assistance that way. And then we also have assistance through a Title I grant that we also can give you as low as $8.50 a month, guys. So
Wow.
do not let price stop you from enrolling your child. We can get you assistance so your child can get that quality preschool education, get them prepared for kindergarten, so they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So give me a call. We'll walk you through all of the grants. It's not hard, and I'm there for you to support you.
Well, let's do that again. So next year you will begin a 3-year-old program, and that's
Correct.
just called the 3-year-olds, or what's that called?
Our typical 3-year-old preschool.
Okay, and then you have the 4-year-olds that you've had before, but you have a dual immersion price for that.
Correct.
Then there's just the regular without the
They're
dual
called
immersion.
They're called Little Apaches.
Little patches, okay. And then what's next?
And then those are the only 2 preschoolers.
Okay.
And then the 3-year-old. So,
Okay.
and then we have a before and after care that will go for either kindergarten or preschool.
Gotcha. And then, of course, all the kindergartners are going to be there
And then
too.
all
That's
of our kindergartners.
pretty exciting. That is pretty exciting that you have this opportunity to just teach and be with all those young folks, starting now 3 on up. And so
Yes.
by the time they're in kindergarten, they'll be doing algebra. I think that's really exciting. I wouldn't put
Things
things have changed so much. It's unreal. I was
They
lucky
have.
to have my ABCs done by the end of kindergarten. I was really excited.
and take naps in kindergarten.
Exactly. No kidding. I'd like to get back to that right now. So
For
Kathy,
kindergarten,
go ahead.
we do have dual immersion in kindergarten as well as just regular kindergarten. So you
Yes.
do have 2 choices for kindergarten as well.
And how
So-
far up is that in the Wabash community schools? Are they
We're adding the 4th grade this year. So all of OJ Neighbors next year will have a dual immersion program in OJ Neighbors. And then
Now-
we will also have it in preschool.
Are there some kids that have been through the whole dual immersion since kindergarten?
Yes, there are. I can't tell you
Wow.
how many, but yes, there are. And
Yeah.
it is amazing. They are actually speaking and reading in Spanish. It's
Mhm.
really amazing.
That is
So-
awesome. Well, very, very
I
good.
might mention, if they bring in their documents to the school, I will be happy to give them a tour of the new building.
Okay.
So
Now, will you be passing along some typed up information that we can throw up on your news local so folks can go read it?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I will
That's
get that
great.
to you.
That's awesome. Kathy
Wow.
Wilson, thank you. The director of LH Carpenter Early Learning Center, your second time. There ought to be an award for being on this show twice.
We're going to make it 3 because you're going to also come back and see the building.
Absolutely going to do that. Well, thank you again, and we'll get this out to the folks. This is appearing on This Week in Wabash, which airs on Friday at noon, but we'll also throw you up on Sunday morning at 9. After we talk about Wabash Area Community Theater, you'll be on Wabash Talks on Sunday too. So,
Awesome.
all right.
Awesome. All righty. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, Kathy.
Dare to dream about it. Dare to dream about it with Terrell Realty.
We're with Bev Ferry again this week, the CEO of Living Well in Wabash County. We're talking about transit. We're talking about all kinds of things. But this week, Bev, we're going to talk about positions you need filled to do the things you do, right?
We do. We always hire people with heart for service because I can't teach that. You've got that or you don't. And in order to provide the services that we do, and it's quite the gamut, we need to have some good people. And we are ramping up for getting ready for when the restrictions lift and we'll be able to open both Living Well downtown and Winchester Senior Center. So in preparation for that, we are now looking for an activity coordinator who can go between this building, the Senior Center at 230 and Bond, and Living Well downtown, which is next to Rock City Lofts and across from the museum. And it's an interesting balance. It's primarily a part-time, it's kind of like a late morning to mid-afternoon kind of job. And we're looking for somebody who would enjoy working with seniors. I mean, they can be a senior themselves or they can be 21. It doesn't matter. It's the right person we're looking for. But they've got to enjoy working with seniors. A common comment I get from people who really are good fits is that they really had a special relationship when they were growing up, either with the grandparents or maybe an older aunt and uncle, or maybe there were neighbors that they were very fond of and had a relationship with. So those are common comments I hear from people who are good at that. And anybody that's worked maybe with volunteers, or you've planned things it can be a Boy Scout pack or a Girl Scout troop or whatever you've done, you don't have to be, you don't have to be like a licensed activity coordinator or anything like that. We're looking for somebody who wants to plan, but really likes people.
Now, are you always in search of drivers for transit too?
We are, and the reason we are is because, excuse me, when we stop looking for drivers, that's when things happen, and it's a catch-22. You don't want to have too many that people don't get hours, but you got to have enough that if 2 or 3 people need to be off at the same time, then we can accommodate it. And if we can get more drivers, and we are bringing a couple on now, but if we can get more drivers, we will be able to take more of the trips to, like the medical trips to Fort Wayne or Indy, or that kind of thing. And I think that will be a real help to people if we can do that. And we would run those in the minivans rather than the buses. But every driver we have has to be able to drive the bus, or they might have a preference, but they've got to be able to do both. And they've got to be able to, everybody has to be able to do the passenger assistance, which is helping people with mobility devices, whether it be scooter or wheelchairs. And people who maybe they've helped somebody before, maybe they've worked for another service that did some of that. You don't have to be someone like that. You could start from scratch, but you need to like to drive, and you need to like people, and you need to be, sometimes you're helping them, with your arm and they're walking, or sometimes, and this is not everybody, but some people that need help. And then you may be, securing their wheelchair. So you're down on the ground, kind of underneath that wheelchair. So it can get personal. And it's not, a lot of times when people think about doing good work with other people, you're not thinking about that you would have to get up close to someone. But when you're securing a tie down for a wheelchair, you're right there. So, you ask permission from that person, but to be able to reach down underneath on the floor. But it takes a special person. And we've had such a variety of people who ended up being really good dispatchers. And that's the best thing I can say. If you think you might have an interest, if you like to drive and you enjoy people, and if you've ever had to help or you don't mind helping someone hands-on, then that might be the job for them. And we always, when somebody expresses interest, we will have them go drive along on one of the buses for a little bit, because you'll know instantly if it's for you or if it's not for you. And it's a personality thing. Our drivers, everybody I talk to, they love our drivers and they love our dispatchers. And we are actually we have a dispatcher who is retiring, and she's our early morning dispatcher. So we have that position open. That would be 5:30 in the morning to about 9:30, 9 or 9:30, and Monday through Friday. And the person needs to be good with the computer. And we've been covering, but we need that early morning slot. And it's a very important spot, because it's the beginning of the day. People will maybe left messages. You'll have to make maybe some changes to the schedules, and you might have to help if a driver's not getting there, if their schedule's not coming up or their tablet or somehow it's not coming on, that person, that early morning dispatcher is the one who's going to help them. So it's, it's a perfect supplemental job if somebody wants to be able to do that and then go to school or, maybe have another job. If you're an early morning person, that's the job for you. They are very special.
Drivers, a dispatcher, some programming.
Right.
Anything else you're looking for?
Well, this year we are looking to hire a transit manager. And honestly, for right now, I'd say my biggest emphasis is on that early morning dispatcher. But if we find someone who would be good and who could take transit and run with it, that's what we would like. They'd start as transit supervisor, but hopefully they become transit manager. But we want somebody who sees the value of transit. Maybe they've done tracking, because there's a lot of tracking with people's skills and different things. But someone who thinks logically and maybe they aren't the person to be out there doing hands-on on a bus, but maybe they're really good at making things happen and PR wise and all that. And we really think transit needs somebody to just take it and run with it. So that's it. Now that one, I'm kind of casting a larger net by bringing it up. I've had my eye out for that kind of person for quite a while, but now we really, our board's made it a priority this year that we really want to try to fill that transit manager or starting at supervisor position.
All right, very good. And how do they get a hold of you if they
260-563-4475.
All right, very good. Well, thanks for joining us again this week.
Well, I appreciate it because, like I said, we cannot provide these services if we don't have the right people. So thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. We'll talk to you again next week.
Okay, thank you, Whitney.
Right.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's Whitney with Visit Wabash County, and we have Katie behind the camera today. And we are going around finding the awesome tenderloins in Wabash County. So our first stop is here in North Manchester at Mr. Dave's. So let's go in and order a tenderloin. Woo! That's fine. I need a partner. A partner. Okay, look at this. We have an amazing tenderloin from Mr. Dave's in North Manchester, which apparently there's some hype about this.
Rumor has it they are award-winning.
Award-winning.
Find out.
So we're gonna find out. We have the tenderloin in here. Look how cute that is packaged.
That's perfect.
That is adorable. And we got the combo. So we got some fries with it too, and we got some cheese to go with the fries, which sounds super good.
And pickles for Katie because
I love pickles. I love pickles. Some ketchup for the fries. So
okay, let's cut this in.
Yeah, let's cut this in half. Okay, guys, here we go. We cut it in half. Let's try this.
Look at this.
Cheers. Oh my goodness. This is so good, you guys. Oh my goodness. First of all, this tenderloin is not super massive, which I kind of like the best about it.
So you can easily eat it with one person.
Yeah. The bun isn't like just one of those tiny buns, you know what I mean? Like you get the bun and the tenderloin all in one. Sometimes when you get those giant tenderloins,
And the bun is
a little bun.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Oh, and it tastes so fresh, like so stinking good.
And what's nice too is that this is just local to North Manchester. So Mr. Dave's isn't a chain, and their food is hand breaded, hand pattied. It's delicious.
I feel like it's time to get on to the next one.
Let's find some more, guys.
Let's go. On the other side. Alright guys, so we just got our tenderloin at Penguin Point, and this is my personal favorite. I don't know if you guys have ever tried the white gravy from Penguin Point, but
I'm not a fan, but if you love gravy, Katie swears by it and
Oh
says
my
it's the best.
God.
So we'll let her
fries in it.
consume that.
Yes.
She can give you the report on that one.
Yes, I dip my fries in the white gravy and it's so good.
So again, if you need a fast tenderloin option and you're looking for something speedy or a late night snack, hit up Penguin Point.
Alright, look at this tenderloin. I'll bring you guys in. This looks absolutely amazing. Look at that tenderloin. And we have some fries down in here, the wrinkle cut kind. And then we have here our white gravy. And then we also
Katie,
have
did you show your
chocolate
dessert?
shake. Their chocolate shakes are
delicious.
absolutely amazing. So apparently there's a Wally sauce on this, right?
It
Is
must
that
be
what
their
they
special
said?
sauce.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
But let's
I'm
go. That is good.
It's almost like a honey mustard.
That's what I'm thinking. That is so good. Oh my goodness.
Don't forget Penguin Point as your go-to tenderloin option.
Yes, and there is cheese on this as well, which I love cheese on my tenderloins for some reason. I don't know if you're like that, but I like cheese on mine.
We hope that we're making you all crave tenderloins today. That's our goal.
Well, we have plenty left over for you guys, so just stop by the Welcome Center and we'll give you some. So this option's really nice if you just want to be on the go, or you have the kids in the car, or you just want to get a quick little bite. They have, I always get their cheeseburgers, so good. My brother loves their chicken strips, amazing.
And side note, there is a second location in North Manchester. We're at the Wabash location here, the OG. But there is one new to North Manchester that's awesome too.
Yeah.
So, Katie, you ready to go to our last location?
Yes, I don't
Okay.
know if I can eat another tenderloin.
Yeah, we'll see. You guys will have to see how we fare on our
All right, let's go.
So, Katie, tell them about the exciting news we have.
So we are giving away 2 tickets to the Rich Valley Tenderloin Lions Club Fry.
The best tenderloins in Wabash County.
Yes, and that is in March. So we are also giving away a gift card to Harry's Pub
Harry's
and
and
Grill, which is so awesome.
All you have to do is comment on this post your favorite tenderloin that you think is in Wabash County, and you're automatically entered to win. So, good luck, everyone. Alright guys, we're here at Harry's Old Kettle Pub and Grill. This is one of my favorite spots in Wabash County. And I have with me special guest Jenny Terrell.
Hi, Jenny.
Realty. And we are so excited to try this massive tenderloin. And the best part is the
Oh my
bun
gosh.
compared to the
Look at
tenderloin.
that
So
bun.
for this,
I'm ready.
let's go.
Raw reaction right here.
So good. Not to talk with my mouth full, but
To talk with my mouth full.
you guys have to come try this.
I'm having a hard time talking with my mouth full.
I know.
It's absolutely amazing.
What do you love about Harry's?
Everything. I mean, the atmosphere. This is my hangout place. I love
Yeah.
Harry and Judy, and
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing that I don't like.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
If you're asking for my favorite dish, I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you the best thing, and it's not even on the menu. Mac and cheese and chili mixed together. Get yourself a little chili mac
Oh
going
my
on. My
gosh.
fave.
Insider tip right
Absolutely
there. Insider
love it.
tip. You guys have to come out to Harry's. Harry and Judy, the owners, are amazing.
They are
They're
so
passionate
nice.
about their business, and food's
Yes.
awesome. Drinks are great.
Absolutely.
Atmosphere's awesome.
The atmosphere, absolutely 100%.
Yes, come grab a drink
Always
and
have
grab a
good
yummy
time.
tenderloin. come see Jenny or Whitney out here. It'll be super fun. All right, guys. So our stomachs are full from all these tenderloins that we've eaten today. And thank you, Jenny, for being our special guest today.
Thank you for having me. I had great fun with you
Yes,
girls.
it's been so much fun. So also check out for any events in March on our event calendar at visitwabashcounty.com.
See you guys next month.
Bye.
All right, today at MSD of Wabash County, we have with us Mrs. Rena Marksteller, who is a biology teacher at Southwood Junior Senior High School. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose to become a teacher.
My husband and I have a son, Kale, and Ivy, and we have a dog and 2 cats. After attending Manchester College, I started my teaching career at Mechanical. I've been teaching for 22 years. 18 of those have been here at Southwood. I currently teach AP Biology, regular biology, and anatomy and physiology. As to why I became a teacher, I would say my biggest influence are my parents. My mom was a school bus driver, and my dad was a longtime coach and teacher. And the influence that he had on me, both as a student, a daughter, and an athlete, really inspired me to want to be that one positive adult that I could be in other people's lives.
All right, thank you for that. So this past July, you were announced as the 2020 Indiana Outstanding Biology Teacher of the Year by the National Association of Biology Teachers. So what was involved in the process of becoming the Biology Teacher of the Year?
The process was a nomination. I was nominated by my friend Elise from Jefferson High School in Lafayette. And I was asked to have a philosophy essay, a lesson plan, a video of that lesson, and recommendations of 4 people. And I chose an administrator, a colleague, a parent, and a past student.
Interesting. So obviously the National Association of Biology Teachers thinks you are an exceptional teacher, as we do also. So can you tell us about your approach to teaching and perhaps different methods you use in your classroom? And I've seen some of those, so it'd be very nice for you to share with the audience.
My biggest approach is relationships, building those relationships. Sometimes my students come in with biology or science isn't their thing. So if I can get to know my students and their interests, then I can utilize that in my teaching. One of the things that I have done in the past 3 years is standard-based grading. So a lot of our worksheets and our labs, those are learning processes, and I try to analyze, provide an analogy to my athletes that this is like practice Monday through Thursday, and then we have our big game. And so that gives the kids the opportunity to have feel safe in my classroom, and that it's okay to make mistakes, and that we can remediate and we can learn. And then I use that to celebrate success, whether that is to get a question right, or whether that is to get a C on the mastery rather than a D. So being able to celebrate everybody's success wherever they are. I use lots of models. We had the opportunity just recently that I was able to bring in a real cow lung and cow heart for my anatomy class. And so they were able to manipulate and dissect and learn the process of how a lung works. Any type of class participation that I can do to get the kids to start thinking for themselves, being able to do critical thinking and collaborating with others.
So, Rena, you mentioned bringing in those organs from the cow. So some people do not like the sight of blood. Mm-hmm. Did everybody stand and not fall and pass out? Was that good?
So a good question. The week before, we actually had a model lung that we used, and I had one student that was all involved. It didn't have the blood component to it, and he loved it. Then the next week, then we brought the real thing in, and another student that had set back the previous week, he was up in the blood and the guts and was really enjoying it. But then I had other students that were interested, but they just kept their distance. So we work with the students and they're comfortable, how comfortable they are in such things like that.
So no one passed out then?
No.
Good. Well, you mentioned earlier too that you kind of compare your standard-based grading with some things going on with the sports and being a coach. And so you also are a wrestling coach here at Southwood High School. And so there's been more of a presence with some of our female athletes in the sport of wrestling. So tell us a little bit about that experience and how you motivated and how things have been successful with that increased participation.
About 3 years ago, Coach Hamill asked me to become a chaperone at the Danville, Illinois wrestling. We had one girl participating, and then we had several girl managers. And so I was interested and went. And then next year, Coach Hamill approached me and said, "How would you be interested in assisting?" And of course, I jumped right on that. Some of the reasons why I jumped at the approach is there's only one girl, but the presence of having a female in a sport that is dominated and is a boys' sport, I thought that was important to have that role model. I have a little bit of experience in jiu-jitsu from the past, and the opportunity to be able to participate in my students' activities outside of the classroom instead of just the classroom. So we had 2 girls participate last year. The beginning of this year, we had some interest, different interests due to jobs and maybe a parent not willing to or not able to do transport. We ended up with just one. But still, it's there. I've got a junior or a 5th grader that's coming in from the elementary school for junior high wrestling. So my goal is to make the presence of a female and the presence of girls in wrestling a thing, and that if they don't want to wrestle boys, they're still in there to get the experience, to get the practice. The more girls we get, the more likely we're going to be able to go to girls' meets. Currently, the state has 5 invitationals around the state. We have a North-South regionals, and we have a state meet that is all girls. So my goal is to be the first female wrestling coach at Southwood and be able to take a team to a girls' meet.
Sounds very exciting. Gives the students other opportunities. So we appreciate you talking about your science classes and your outstanding, being an outstanding biology teacher of Indiana last year, 2020, and all the different things that you do with wrestling. So appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Mr. Kiefer.
Yeah. And as always, at MSD of Wabash County, dream big and work hard.
Tune in again next Friday on 1059thebash.com and all of our Facebook pages for another edition of This Week in Wabash.